Hey everybody, Bobby Chu here. So, one of the most common questions that I get asked is, what are the art fundamentals? If you ever listen to the interviews that I do with a lot of these really accomplished artists, a lot of them, they emphasize art fundamentals. You gotta constantly practice your fundamentals. So, what are the fundamentals? Well, it's kind of different for everything. Like in boxing, perhaps it would be a jab and a hook. For drawing, it's very different as well. What are you drawing? Are you drawing environments? Because then, if it's environments, then you'd want to make sure that you have the fundamentals of environments down and constantly practicing that. For example, maybe it's perspective, maybe it's composition, maybe it's different types of lighting, different weather patterns, things like that. Maybe it's architecture as well, because if you're doing environments, most likely there's going to be buildings. So then all of a sudden you get into architecture, and architecture has its own fundamentals as well. The different types of buildings, the different parts of a building, cars, same kind of thing. And then people. What would be the fundamentals of character design, for example? Well, that would definitely be gestures, most likely be anatomy of some sort. And if you're like most people, you'd want to get really well versed in human anatomy as well as animal anatomy. And that will help you to expand your mind into creature anatomy. Now, what do all of these things have in common? Structure. Structure is kind of like the umbrella that everything falls under. Environments have structure. Buildings have structure. Characters definitely have structure. And what does that mean? That means how sound is your structure, how three-dimensional and kind of real feeling, how solid feeling does it kind of feel to you? That's how I kind of look at good structure. Does it feel sound? When I flip it into a mirror image, does it still look sound? Because a lot of times when you're looking at your drawing, it looks great from one angle, and then you flip it and all of a sudden it doesn't look so hot anymore. It has to look good from both angles or else it doesn't have good structure. If you're into painting, then lighting also becomes a big fundamental as well. We can't see anything without light, so we gotta be able to understand it. And that's why it's so fundamental. And then also in painting, you have edges. That's a huge one. And color, how to express color under a purple light, under a dark red light, under all sorts of different kinds of circumstances, not just understanding a red ball is red and knowing what the color red is, but how does color get manipulated or changed through different situations. So that's what all these professionals are talking about when they talk about fundamentals. You want to learn the key building block components of whatever subject it is that you're interested in. And every subject has different fundamentals. However, all of them pretty much are encompassed by the idea of structure. And if you're painting it, you're going to have to deal with light and color as well. Now, a lot of people, they think they know structure. They think they know lighting and all this stuff. So it's very important to see what kinds of artists are you learning from. What have been the things that they've achieved in their lives? What kind of paintings do they do? I think it's a very genuine and very good idea to ask your teachers to look at their portfolios. Try to say it in a polite way, but you want to know if they got the chops to do it or if they're just regurgitating some stuff that perhaps they think that they understand or that they read in a book. Learning from people that have done the things that you want to do, that is one of the huge secrets to learning the correct things and fundamentals, since it pretty much is the most important thing that you need to learn. It makes it even more important to make sure that you're learning from the right people. Now on Schoolism.com, we have people that have won Emmys, that have been nominated for Oscars, that have worked on motion pictures like most of us, have taught at Pixar, have taught at Disney, DreamWorks, designed creatures for Star Wars, and have pretty much done the things that you want to do. That's the key. Search out the people that have done the things that you want to do.